Okay, so the first thing I do is I go to tweetdeck.com. And so this is what I do when I'm doing a Twitter chat because it's going to allow me to, I'm just going to do it on the web. You can also download it to your computers, standalone, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's nice because it actually syncs. So if I were to sign in here, which is not my normal computer, it'll show all of my stuff. So I have a different, I had already created an account previously. You would need to create an account. It is a different than your actual Twitter. So I don't put in my Twitter username and password, which you should definitely have a different username and password for Twitter than you have for anything else. Your email should have its own unique password that you do not share with any other accounts. Your Facebook and your Twitter and these other things that get hacked a lot, but also in your Google, which is your Gmail, you sign into other websites with those. So you really, really want them to be unique. Each their own ones. And then I have one that I just use for everything else. Okay, so put in my username and my password that is not my Twitter password. Yes, I'm familiar with these. Okay, so you'll see I already have a bunch of columns already set up. And so this is how I can oh, here's everything people are saying in CI149. So I have a column just for that hashtag. And then here's a column that shows people who are messaging me. And then, this is just where when you click connect at the top of Twitter, this interactions one is people who mention me, the @AliceKeeler. And so then I was doing a Twitter chat earlier for EdChat, so I made a column for that. And then the person who was sending out the questions, his @Cyberman, so I made a column for him so I don't miss the questions. So I'm going to go ahead, when I click on this, I should be able to delete it. Remove. They updated the interface, so it's throwing me off a little bit. Remove, so I'm going to get rid of those. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice it has an icon to compose a new tweet. So, oh my gosh, this tweet, yeah, okay. So pound CI149, getting ready, start class, giving advice for how to do a Twitter chat. Now it's kind of nice on here because you'll see it actually let you schedule the tweet or insert a picture. So I'm going to go tweet. So if you want to say, I plan on saying these things later in the day, you can actually schedule them out. I never schedule my tweets. Probably should. I don't know. Anyway, so that's just it. I just composed it right up here in the corner, right? But then right below it, it says search, right? So I'm going to put in here down... was it Ed Teacher? What was the chat that's today? Do you remember? All right, so I'll do pound prop chat. I'm going to do that later today. So I type it into the search, and when I push enter, it shows me tweets that have pound that hashtag, but at the bottom it says add a column. So I just add a column, and now I can see everything that's being tweeted on that. So as I'm going through and I see these tweets coming up during the chat, so I just log in to TweetDeck during that 1 hour. So it's tonight from 5 to 6? So you see what people are putting. So you would always start with at the beginning of the hour you introduced yourself. So you'd say pound, prof chat, Alice Keeler from Fresno. I teach at Fresno State. And then I'd hit tweet. I'm not going to because I'm not actually doing this. But, you introduce yourself. And then as people are tweeting, then you see it's a reply button that's on there. So you just reply and retweet. Those are good ways to interact with people. Just being active. And then people ask questions. And so you just give your own thoughts on the topic. So topic today is going to be classroom management. So, what are some, just standing by a student can help reduce behavior problems. And then you would always use the hashtag. So I go over here and I'll just tweet it. Sorry. Oops. If I knew how to spell, that would be super. And then I would do pound, is it Ed Teacher?
Yeah, I think it's Ed Teach.
Ed Teach. All right, so pound Ed Teach. So you always want to get the hashtag in there. And then because I use the hashtag, it'll show up in the column. So everyone's doing the same thing, right? They're all using something like this where they can manage the chat more easily than the whole Twitter feed.
So do you screenshot that? Can you screenshot that?
You can screenshot it, but